Well, welcome back to the Extraordinary Drummer Show. As you know, I'm your host, Cheron Moore. I always say, today. Well, I debate the rounds, y'all. I got the man on the show, and you're going to enjoy this one. If he's not the most popular drummer in the industry, he's definitely number one. You have to give him that. He's a master drummer. He's a clinician. His credits includes BECK, Prince, which we're going to talk about, Patti LaBelle, New Kids on the Block, and so many more. He's an educator. He's a drummer's drummer. Will you help me welcome my guest today, Chris Coleman? Hey, Chris.
What's up, brother?
Hey, man.
Oh, it's like my son. This is what my son taught me to. Hey.
Hey, man, welcome to the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
Appreciate the love.
So many things I want to talk to you about today. I kind of want to jump around a little bit, but let's start from the beginning. Let's go back and talk a little history stuff here. Where are you originally from?
Saginaw, Michigan, born and raised, and also part raised in Memphis.
You read somewhere where you started playing drums at 2 years old and sitting on your uncle's knee.
Yeah, he would sit me on his knee. I'd play, the cymbals and tom, snare, and all that stuff, and he would control the foot pedal and the hi-hat.
When did you get your first drum kit?
Ooh, let's see. I may have been, I had the Toys R Us kit, the little, how they attach the snare drum to the floor, the bass drum, and the little floor tom next to it. I used that maybe up until I was 4 or 5. And I think when I was 5, my mom was like, okay, he's completely destroyed this kid. Beat it to death. So we got to upgrade. That's my little Toys R Us kit. That was me when I was little. Wow. Mr. Boo Boo was my nickname.
Take me to high school. What was the scene like in high school?
Moving to Bridgeport, Michigan. That's where I graduated high school, Bridgeport High School. So from 6th grade, I started playing for the high school band. I would go over to their rehearsals after basketball practice, after football practice in junior high, after my twice a week martial arts, classes and this type of stuff. So I started playing drums in 6th grade band for 6th grade, and I'm playing the drums for the high school band.
Tell me about winning the Music Appreciations Award at age 14, and also around that time touring with Edwin Hawkins. What was that like?
Okay. So actually, I did a concert with Edwin. I was touring with Vanessa Bell Armstrong. That's who I ended up doing a small tour with. One particular year when I won that, the director, she was the music director of a church. I knew her personally. And she was like, oh my God, I didn't know you went to Bridgeport. I didn't know you was in this school. So she actually saw me perform. She was one of the judges. And she was like, boy, I didn't know you could play drums like that. I heard you play in church, but I didn't know you could do all that. Right? That type of thing. So she put my name on the citywide list, of upcoming musicians. And that's how I got recognized. And I won that award of prestigious, musicians of the city or the year or something like that. So that was a pretty big deal, though. It was a pretty big deal back then.
Let's talk a little drum technique.
All right.
Oh, man. Where do I start, man? How do I know a lot of the backdrop about some of the pain and some of the stuff you went to that shaped your playing? That when I see this, and we mentioned the word beast mode earlier.
I didn't even get to all the juicy stuff yet, but go ahead.
But there's 2 topics I want to talk about. Okay. Your playing, to me, as I looked at it, you never heard the expression if and when you playing like if and like playing it like that, you're like, It's not herky jerky. It's like if you playing in the four, if you playing 4-1, you got the E and A, right?
Right.
You're playing. I saw a lot of you would stick and you would pull the stick back like this, like that. And I'm going, that's that if and stuff. And he would stop stuff. And it was like, what is that, Chris? What the heck is that?
My thing is this. My teachers in Drummers Collective, man, they changed my life. Man, they had a mission out for me to make sure I learned how to read music. Them cats created challenges for me to read music, new methods, new ways. So, what they did for me was open up the world. And when I say world, meaning the entire grid of time, right? And I fell in love with it. Imagine being a kid up until 18 years old where you can almost play anything you hear verbatim, right? But not understanding none of it. It's frustrating. It's like you hit this glass ceiling, you don't know how to get through, right? Reading was the thing. And not just reading, but understanding was the thing. Them cats drilled me on learning how to count space, count the rest, play the notes, but only count the rest as your sight reading. Like, we want you to know time. That's really what they were saying. We want you to know time backwards and forwards because it's ridiculous to have all of this talent and you don't understand what you're doing, right? And to this day, all of my teachers are still great friends of mine. And they appreciated the fact that I was a humble type person. I just love to learn. I would ask questions and they let me sub for them as a student on some of their gigs when they felt comfortable, so my whole thing became timing and I was already working with a metronome from Edwin. Remember that, right? So now me and a metronome, I'm one with a metronome by now, but now I'm about to put the final piece of the puzzle. Can you count through all of this? Do you understand where you are? Can you feel the E so natural, just like the downbeat? Can you feel the so natural, just like the downbeat? Can you feel the trip and the let so natural, just like the downbeat, right? Can you feel 6 as common as 4, right? Can you feel 13 as common as 4? Right? These type of things, they drilled me in that. So I fell in love with just mastering and growing in time. For me, it's about how can I serve this moment?
Tell me about gospel chops. What is it and why does it get a good rap and a bad rap at the same time?
All right. So gospel chops happen because of social media. It's just the lingo of the language, right? When social media got a hold of it, they didn't know what it was. So they had to call it something. Oh, what's going on here? It's a bunch of guys trading fours. Wow. Well, but where are they? It seems to be that they always do this in a church. So I guess they're gospel, but they're just playing chops. They're not playing music. So I guess we'll just call it gospel chops.
Let's change reels a little bit. Stay within the drumming side of it. Let's talk endorsements. What are you playing? What are you using? So on and so forth.
Sonar drums, Evans drum heads, Vic First signature stick, and accessories, and Mino signature ride and accessories. Drum dots, groove gear, working on the Sennheiser thing. I've been talking with them a lot. Various other little things, interconnected, not necessarily full-on companies, but yeah, that's the main core of everything I got going on right now as far as endorsements.
Let's talk credits. How did you get that gig with BECK?
Man, first, let me say this. Be who you are on drums. Be the same person off the drum. You're going to be shocked how I got this gig. And I get a random email from this guy named says, "Hey, man, uh, I've heard about you through a couple people in the industry, checked you out on YouTube, and you've been one of the ones selected to come and audition." Now I'm going to say that again because a lot of people miss that. Not come and audition. He said selected to come and audition. There was like a list of 20. I know, I heard the list. I saw the list of who was on there. I was like, wow. So I was a little nervous, but I was like, at the end of the day, when I started listening to his music, I'm like, man, Beck is all over the place. I mean, he got hip hop and country in the same song. Like, I got excited because I'm like, this is my world. I said, man, this is me. So I said, yeah, I'll come and audition. No worries. I got the call to do the audition, and I was just looking for something fresh because it had been all drum stuff at the moment. And I was just looking for something fresh, the next chapter of life, next chapter of career. And yeah, I attacked the audition, charted it out, transcribed lick for lick, lick for lick. Why? Because you know what I got? I got some pertinent information on the phone call. Yeah, Beck's drummer of 20 years is leaving. 20 years, he don't know nothing else. So I got to know this guy's stuff, right? At least for the audition. I should be able to say, here's your drummer, here's what's been played, but I'll give you my take if you ask for it, right? I'm ready to give it to you, but I'm going to give you the song. And I did that. And about 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, well, shoot, maybe I didn't get the gig. Oh, well, it is what it is. I gave it my all. Right when I was like, well, that's not happening. I guess I'm not going to get the gig. Because normally they let you know right away, you know. And I got a phone call from the manager. And like I said, like maybe a month later, I flew out to LA, did the audition. And about 2 weeks later, he calls and said, hey, man, how would you like to be the drummer for Beck? I was like, I'm so down. He was like, well, congratulations, you got the gig. And he was like, he said, you start rehearsals in a month. We're going on tour. I was like, okay.
Let's talk about your band, the Paradigm Band, the Paradigm. Tell me about it.
Paradigm. It's a paradigm. I had the paradigm, but then I don't know. I felt like God was like, so you the only example? I'm like, nah. He's like, you might want to drop that the just so people don't get it confused and think you think you're the man and the only man. So it's a paradigm, you know. I like paradigm because it keeps it simple for me. A paradigm is just an example. I'm just an example of what New Orleans and funk sounds like. I'm not the sound for it. I'm just an example. So I don't have to worry about title chasing, clout chasing. You feel me? I have, it's like this. It's a collection. How did I say? I have a term. Oh my God. I need to look at my notes. Multiple collections for current expressions. Meaning I got trio, I got quintet, I got quartet, I got full on. It just depends on what I want to do and what I'm writing. It's more of an experience. Like I don't want to give it away, but I got some other things planned.
Chris, we have a thing on the show we do. Mm-hmm. We call Word of Advice. Okay. Where I ask the drummers if they would leave a parting word of advice for the up-and-comer drummers, even the guys at the next level that's trying to get traction in this game. Would you leave them a word of advice, please?
Yeah. I always try to stay current, you know, wherever I am and where I'm going through. Life has a way of kicking your ass. I ain't even gonna lie. It'll have you sitting in the middle of the floor, wondering if black is really black and white is really right. You sure? Because nothing makes sense to me, you know. But I can promise you this: of all of my 42 years of living, if that thought or that dream or that feeling keeps coming back to you, even in the midst of tears, if it keeps coming back to you, it's meant for you to conquer it, whatever it is. The only thing that's standing between you and that moment is your faith that it can be. That's it. I feel like for some it's God, for some it's the universe. You know, he or the universe will get you there. Just stay true to yourself. That's it. Find yourself at all times. Look in the mirror and say, even if you have to say, you suck right now, stop this. What are you doing? You messing up. What you doing, man? What you don't blow it. You about to blow it. I mean, I don't care. I don't know. I don't know what everybody's situation is. But wherever you are, find a mirror. Find yourself in that mirror and talk to that person. Settle down. Wipe the tears off. Put the gun down, put the drink down, put the needle down. Focus.
In closing, I want to ask you this one. Chris, what would you like your legacy to be said, to be told?
That guy lived his full life. I think whatever God had on his list for his life, he accomplished it. That's what I want people to say. He did it. Everything that he was destined to do, designed to do, created to do, he did absolutely everything before he got up out of here. That's it. Because at the end of the day, don't nothing else matter. Death is inevitable. Love and relationships are temporary. You gone, you gone. Right? Some people believe, the afterlife and spiritual. Okay, I can't speak to that right now because I'm stuck here. So I'm just gonna worry about now. Right? I feel good putting out positive energy and sowing positive seeds. And I see the benefit of walking in love and being a human to other humans instead of walking around with all this bitterness and anger towards each other. Right? I see the benefit of it. It works for me. So I'm just gonna keep rocking it. That's all I can be concerned about is myself. So that's all I want people to say. He did it, man. Man, did you see that list? Here was the list that God created for him and his life. All the stuff he was supposed to do. Everything is crossed off. Crazy. That's it.
Gotta do a part 2, 3, 4, and 5 of this interview.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
And I'm not even talking about the stuff you don't know you got covered. I'm talking about just this stuff. I used to say that there's more meat on the bone.
There's always some more meat on the bone. Yep.
Chris, let me say thank you so very much for being on the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the invite.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, man. It's been dope. Super dope.
Will you help us wave goodbye to all the fans? Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.